What does a $500 million mansion even look like? We're not talking about your average luxury home with a pool and a nice view. We're talking about entire estates that come with their own zip codes. In the rarefield world of the super rich, real estate is more than just an investment. It's a show of power, prestige, and sometimes pure ego. Over the past 10 years, we've seen jaw-dropping property sales that would make even a billionaire blink twice. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 most expensive home sales of the past decade, from Malibu mega mansions perched above the Pacific, to skyscraping penthouses in New York City, to sprawling French chateaus with histories older than most countries. These homes redefine luxury. Buckle up, because we're about to open the doors to a level of real estate most of us only dream of. First up, it's Pan Sutong's purchase of the Deepwater Bay Mansion in Hong Kong in 2017. Pan Sutong is a name that once echoed loudly in the world of Chinese billionaires, especially in real estate and finance. Born in mainland China and later becoming a Hong Kong resident, Pan built his empire through Golden Group, which, at his peak around 2015, Forbes estimated his net worth at over $12 billion, making him one of the richest men in Hong Kong. In 2017, Pan Sutong made major headlines in Hong Kong's real estate world by purchasing a mansion in Deepwater Bay. The 13,854 square foot mansion, located at 89 Deepwater Bay Road, reportedly cost around 2.1 billion Hong Kong dollars, or roughly $322 million, and was easily the most expensive home bought in the last decade, and possibly ever. The mansion, located in Deepwater Bay, an area home to Hong Kong's wealthiest residents and one of the most ultra-exclusive and eye-wateringly expensive neighborhoods on Earth, is sat on a hill with sweeping views of the bay, surrounded by manicured gardens and security tighter than a bank vault. The design was inspired by a French chateau, think Versailles vibes but in tropical Hong Kong. The property was built on multiple levels and includes grand staircases, high ceilings, ballrooms, and other billionaire-grade features like a private cinema, security quarters, and more bathrooms than anyone actually needs. Sadly, in the years since, Pan's property business has faltered. He took out 3 mortgages against the mansion and is fighting bankruptcy, and as a result, the property is not lived in today. Second on the list, and we're across the pond to Europe with this French chateau-styled 56,000 square foot palatial estate that sits outside Paris in Louveciennes and looks like it was plucked straight out of the 17th century. The property was originally commissioned by Saudi billionaire Khalid bin Sultan Al Saud, with building starting in 2008 and finishing a few years later. The mansion is set within a beautifully landscaped 57-acre park, complete with an authentic moat encircling the property. While the Chateau Louis XIV was designed to reflect the grandeur of 17th century French architecture, the residence is equipped with every modern convenience. Inside, state-of-the-art technology allows for seamless control of the home's features, including ambient lighting, both indoors and outdoors, modernized shutters, and reversible air conditioning regulated by hygrometric sensors. Residents can also manage audio systems, adjusting music and speaker volume throughout the property with ease. The interiors are a masterclass in luxury. Gold leaf moldings, polished marble floors, and hand-painted ceilings highlight the craftsmanship throughout. Amenities include a 3,000-bottle wine cellar, a fully equipped underground nightclub, and a home cinema. There are also indoor and outdoor swimming pools, an elegant ballroom, and a tranquil meditation room located beneath the garden, featuring a ceiling that replicates the night sky. Even the surrounding moat is home to koi fish, blending ornamental tradition with serene landscaping. The property makes this list because, in 2015, Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, was flying over the top of it and loved what he saw so much, he sent his representative to make the owner an offer to buy it. The price was $300 million and the second most expensive property on this list. Third on the list, and we're back in Hong Kong with another disgraced Chinese property mogul. Chung Kai Group is a Hong Kong-based investment holding company founded by Chen Hongqian, a Chinese millionaire who made his fortune through real estate and finance. One of their headline purchases was the entire 21-story City Tower in London's Canary Wharf back in 2017 for around £270 million. That move got everyone's attention because it was one of the largest acquisitions in London by a private Chinese investor at the time. As for Chen Hongqian, he's been in the spotlight for his lavish lifestyle, luxury homes, art collections, and a reputation for hosting grand banquets with government officials and celebrities. In 2016, he paid 2.1 billion Hong Kong dollars or $270 million, a record price at the time, for a 9,212 square foot mansion in an affluent area of Hong Kong known as the Peak. The Peak, also known as Victoria Peak, is the most prestigious and exclusive residential area in Hong Kong. It's the crown jewel of the city, both literally and figuratively, sitting high above the skyline with panoramic views of Victoria Harbour, Central, and the outlying islands. The property, located at 15 Gough Hill Road, is perched high up on Victoria Peak, spans over 9,200 square feet with sweeping uninterrupted views of Victoria Harbour. It also sits on a rare and expansive plot of land, which is like owning beachfront in central Manhattan. The mansion's interiors reportedly feature marble floors, high ceilings, and top-tier European finishes. It also includes a private swimming pool, lush landscaping, and the kind of security setup that makes Fort Knox look like a garden shed. Fourth on the list, and we're in Europe, but headed to the UK, and the 62,000 square foot mansion in London's Knightsbridge, 28A Rutland Gate, that recently sold for $242 million. The mansion is located in the affluent Knightsbridge district in central London, just south of Hyde Park, and next to Kensington Palace, a residence of the British royal family and home to Prince William and Kate Middleton. The buyer was Hui Kai-yan, and the man who once sat at the very top of China's real estate throne. He's the founder and former chairman of China Evergrande Group, which was, at its peak, the second largest property developer in China by sales. And for a while, Hui wasn't just rich, he was the richest man in China, with a net worth of over $40 billion in 2017. The property, originally constructed in the 1830s as 4 separate townhouses, was later combined into a single residence during the 1980s. It boasts 45 rooms, including grand reception areas, multiple elevators, a swimming pool, a health spa, and underground parking. What's most amazing is that when the property was still owned by the late Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, it was filled with extravagant interior stylings made from 24-karat gold, right down to the tissue boxes and waste paper bins. But the property had since fallen into a state of repair, meaning that Chung reportedly obtained permission to reconstruct and refurbish the property, with an estimated cost of at least $200 million. Fifth on the list, and for the first time, we're in the USA, with Ken Griffin, who bought the top 4 floors of the Central Park South Tower in New York for $238 million. Ken is the founder, CEO, and co-CEO of Citadel, one of the largest and most successful hedge funds in the world. Griffin himself has a net worth of $30 billion, depending on the markets and the day. He's known for making bold bets, pushing innovation in finance, and running a tight ship. His firms are notorious for hiring only top-tier talent. Outside of finance, he's made headlines for his real estate portfolio. In 2019, Ken Griffin shattered real estate records when he bought a penthouse at 220 Central Park South in New York City for a jaw-dropping $238 million. That price tag made it the most expensive home ever sold in the United States. This wasn't just any apartment, we're talking about a quadruplex, 4 floors of unfiltered luxury, spanning roughly 24,000 square feet. It sits on the top floors of a limestone-clad tower designed by Robert A.M. Stern, known for blending classic elegance with modern ultra-luxury. The building is right across from Central Park, so the view's unreal. It's like owning your own skybox over Manhattan. What's inside? Well, details are scarce. Griffin's known for keeping things private, but we're talking multiple bedrooms and bathrooms, massive living and dining areas, a private elevator, and finishes that scream bespoke billionaire. The building itself is stacked with high-end amenities, doormen, porters, a private dining room, a health club, spa, juice bar, and even a private motor court, so you don't have to step onto the sidewalk with the rest of us. Sixth on the list, and it's a $225 million transaction for a 3-parcel spread of waterfront properties in Port Royal, Naples in early 2015. The problem? We have no idea who bought it. The property, located at 2170, 2200, and 2340 Gordon Drive, collectively span approximately 15 acres and boast 800 feet of direct Gulf frontage. The centerpiece, 2200 Gordon Drive, features an 8,846 square foot estate with 11 bedrooms and 16 bathrooms, situated on 8.53 acres. The other two properties, they include a 6,000 square foot home built in 1938 at 2340 Gordon Drive and a 3.07 acre vacant lot at 2170 Gordon Drive. The buyer's identity remains undisclosed, with the acquisition made through the 2200 Gordon Land Trust, represented by Naples attorney Kevin Coleman. The seller was the DeGlute family, linked to the late Canadian billionaire Michael DeGlute Sr., who assembled the compound starting in the 1990s. The sale marked the most expensive residential real estate transaction in Florida's history and the second highest in US history. This kind of setup, buying through a trust with legal representation, is standard billionaire playbook stuff when someone wants to stay anonymous. It's often used to avoid media attention, reduce tax exposure, or just keep the paparazzi from figuring out where to point their cameras. Naples has recently become a magnet for the ultra-rich who want exclusivity, privacy, and waterfront access without the Miami flash. Seventh on the list, and we're back in Europe, with a man who would have 2 entries in this list if we were looking at the largest purchases in the last 15 years. In 2011, this man paid $250 million for the penthouse apartment in Hyde Park 1, but more recently, he's also paid $220 million for Villa Les Cedres, French Riviera. Rinat Akhmetov is Ukraine's richest man and one of the most powerful oligarchs in Eastern Europe. He made his fortune in the steel, coal, and energy sectors, and he's the founder and owner of System Capital Management, a sprawling business empire that controls everything from mining and telecom to finance and media. At his peak, Forbes estimated his net worth at over $15 billion, though it's taken a big hit in recent years due to war, sanctions, and global market shifts. In 2019, Rinat paid $220 million for the Villa Les Cedres in the French Riviera. The 14-bedroom villa was built in the 1830s and was owned by King Leopold II of Belgium prior to the 1920s. The villa is tucked into the hills of Saint-Jean-Cap-Ferrat between Nice and Monaco. This 18,000 square foot Belle Époque mansion sits on 35 acres of prime Mediterranean coastline. The estate was originally built in 1830 and later purchased by the Mariner Lapstole family, famous for producing Grand Mariner liqueur. In its heyday, the villa hosted kings, queens, and aristocrats. Its name, Les Cedres, comes from the towering cedar trees dotting the property. The mansion itself has 14 bedrooms, a grand ballroom, a wood-paneled library, a chapel, an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and even stables for 30 horses. But what really makes it stand out is the legendary botanical garden, once home to over 14,000 species of tropical plants, and one of the most important private collections in Europe. Eighth property on the list, and another confidential purchase, it's the Malibu estate on Encinial Bluffs that sold for a staggering $210 million, setting a new record for the most expensive home sale in California history. Rumors have floated names like Larry Ellison, who already owns a chunk of Malibu, or even Jeff Bezos, who's been actively collecting prime real estate across the US, as the buyer, but nothing is confirmed. The seller was James Jannard, the founder of Oakley Sunglasses. While James is a low-key billionaire, he has a monster legacy in both fashion and in tech. He's best known as the founder of Oakley, the sunglasses and sportswear company that became a global brand thanks to its futuristic designs and bulletproof lenses, literally in some cases. He started Oakley in 1975 with just $300, selling motorcycle grips out of the back of his car. By the early 2000s, Oakley had become the brand for athletes, military personnel, and pretty much anyone who wanted to look like they were about to jump out of a helicopter. In 2007, Janed sold Oakley to Luxottica for $2.1 billion. The estate spans 9.5 acres and features a 15,000 square foot Palladian-style main residence designed by Ferguson and Shamamian architects. It boasts 8 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, and 300 feet of ocean frontage near El Pescador State Beach. The interiors were crafted by renowned designer Michael S. Smith, known for his work on the White House's Oval Office. Janed purchased the 8-bedroom mega mansion on Encinial Bluffs, spread across 3 parcels, for $75 million in 2013 and sold it for $210 million 10 years later. Not a bad return on investment. 9th on the list, and it's the megastars Jay-Z and Beyoncé. She's a global icon, he's a business mogul, and together they're a power couple worth well over $2 billion. Beyoncé has sold over 200 million records worldwide, won 32 Grammy Awards, while Jay-Z, he's not just the guy behind 99 Problems, he's a 24-time Grammy winner, a Rock Nation boss, and the first hip-hop billionaire. In 2023, they made headlines for buying a Malibu mansion for $200 million, the most expensive home ever sold in California at the time. It's a massive concrete and glass estate overlooking the Pacific, designed by legendary Japanese architect Tadao Ando. The mansion is located on Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu's Paradise Cove, often nicknamed Billionaires Row. This stretch of coastline is famously private and home to some of the most valuable real estate on Earth. The home is a minimalist masterpiece, mostly made of concrete, with huge geometric shapes, clean lines, and walls of glass that frame the Pacific Ocean like a moving painting. The house sprawls across approximately 30,000 square feet, sitting on 8 acres of oceanfront land. It's incredibly rare to find that much private coastal space in Malibu, which makes the property just as valuable for the land as the structure itself. While exact interior details are scarce, because of course they are, it's known to have multiple pools, a private beach access, massive open-plan living spaces, and museum-grade art display features. Everything is custom and designed to blend luxury with brutalist architecture. 10th on the list, and we're returning to Central Park South in New York, where, in 2022, Joseph Tsai, the co-founder of Alibaba Group, purchased the second most expensive home in New York City for $188 million. Joseph Tsai is a Taiwanese-Canadian billionaire, best known as the co-founder and executive vice chairman of Alibaba Group, the Chinese e-commerce giant. Tsai owns about 1.3% of Alibaba, which has made him worth roughly $8 to $10 billion, depending on stock swings. In 2022, Joseph Tsai made a major splash in New York City real estate when he purchased 2 full-floor condos at 220 Central Park South, including a penthouse on the 73rd floor, previously owned by hedge fund billionaire Dan Ock, and a second full-floor unit just below the penthouse for roughly $75 million, giving him a 2-floor sky palace in one of the most luxurious towers in the world. The master plan knocked them together and turned the space into a duplex apartment on the 73rd and 72nd floor, spanning 14,000 square feet. The interiors were designed with classic elegance, high ceilings, herringbone floors, massive windows, and marble bathrooms. It's not showy in the Miami modern kind of way, it's understated, refined, and exactly the kind of place where a billionaire could host heads of state or just quietly read the Financial Times in cashmere slippers. The most impressive part? Well, that's the view. The building directly faces Central Park, so the views are truly unreal. Full, unobstructed, jaw-dropping park-to-skyline vistas from almost every room. Amenities are first class. The building itself offers white-glove everything: private dining services, spa, fitness center, indoor pool, wine cellars, private parking, and even its own motor court. It's built like a fortress with a butler. What's your favorite? If you had a few $100 million to spend on a new property, which would you buy? As always, if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel for more videos on the lives of the super rich.